Chamatkar Sandhu here in Berlin, Germany, and we've just wrapped up with the UFC Fight Night Berlin press conference, and now I'm sitting alongside one half of the main event, Mark Munoz. Mark, first of all, welcome to Berlin. How's your trip been?
Trip's been awesome. I obviously this is jet lag has been a little challenge,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been able to conquer that challenge because I made sure I only slept 4 hours on the plane.
Right.
Took some Ambien. Ambien is a lifesaver, by the way. If you're looking to battle jet lag, use Ambien the right times. So
Okay.
yeah, so I've been taking Ambien. I'm looking to take another Ambien tonight, so I could be on the schedule tomorrow. Then boom, I'll be great.
I've been following you on Twitter and Instagram, and you've been everywhere in Berlin so far. You've been at the Brandenburg Gate. You've been seeing all the sights. What do you think of the city?
Oh, I love it, man. I just love how much history there is here. There's a lot of history here. The people are great. People are amazing. Just seeing how the culture is and how the people interact and the food. So with your recommendation,
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna go to a great restaurant tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I'm looking forward to experiencing Berlin a little bit more.
Cool. All right, well, let's talk about the fight game. And let's just go back a little bit, first of all. So your last performance with Machida, it was a little bit emotional because you trained together. It didn't go your way that night. But what I'm really interested to find out is what's been going on with you in the last 6 months, how you coped with that loss, and how have you tried to become a better fighter since that loss?
Yeah, I think with every fight that you become a better fighter, but I think with every loss you become an even better fighter. And I always say that you need to forget what lies behind and strive for what's ahead. And that's what I'm doing. I learned a lot from that fight. Obviously Lyoto and I are friends, and we're still friends. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot as far as entry level takedowns and knowing when to go and not giving too many of your tricks away to your opponents. But hey, that's just how it is, man. Lyoto knows that I was gonna try to take it to the ground, and he did very well at keeping it standing, and he's very good there. So with this fight against Gegard, I've learned a lot. So because of that loss, I'm able to strive for what's ahead of me, and that's Gegard Mousasi. And now within the past 6 months, I've been training on my stand up, been training on my MMA takedowns, and refining my ground and pound even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Gegard. What do you think of him as an opponent? He's come into the UFC. He's won one. He's lost one. But when you look at his record and you look at yeah, exactly. All the guys he's fought over in Dream and K1 and in Strike Force, he's got a lot of good wins on his record. So what do you make of him as an opponent for you?
He is a very viable opponent. He is formidable. I mean, he is a tough opponent, and he's got a lot of strengths. He's fought the world's best, even guys that are in the UFC now. He's fought the best in the UFC. I mean, he knocked out Jacare. He's fought just like you said, in Dream, in Pride, in Strike Force. He was a Strike Force champion. So I mean, I'm he's a tall order, but at the same time, that's who I am. I love taking on challenges like that. I love welcoming guys into the UFC. That's just what I do.
Okay. Well, looking at his striking, does it make it a little bit easier fighting someone who's a little bit more orthodox with his striking compared to Machida, who's so evasive?
Yes, makes it a little bit easier. So with Lyoto, he's very elusive in his movements, and the whole time we were training, it was all grappling and takedown base and getting in, and it was nothing that he was doing, to keep it standing. So it was a bit of an advantage on his part to be able to fight me, which, hey, that's what happens. But to fight somebody like Mousasi, he is somebody that is very Muay Thai based, and he is very grounded every time, so he can deliver a power punch, and you know, it makes it quite easier to take somebody down when they're in front of you, you know, but not anybody that's kind of hidden angle. So. So I mean, it's no secret that I am gonna take Gegard down, you know, and he knows that I'm gonna try to take him down, and that's why we fight, you know, and you know, Gegard's a tough opponent. Like I said, or like you said, he fought a lot of the top guys in MMA, and he's fighting another top guy now, you know, and so, you know, I'm looking forward to this matchup, and I'm looking forward to executing my game plan and watch those ground and pound punches fly.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, something about you just mentioned there is the wrestling, and one of Gegard's losses was against King Mo, where wrestling played a massive part. Have you been looking back at tape of that particular fight, or maybe some of Mousasi's other fights, where you can see the angles and how you're going to be able to try and take him down in the fight?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I always look at, always try to approach the fight as objective and as objective as I can. You know, obviously with him fighting King Mo. King Mo is explosive, dynamic wrestler. You know, and he goes out and takes people down, and that's what he did to Gegard. You know, and he won the fight that way. And you know, for me, I am, you know, a wrestler, and I do want to take it down. So take him down and take it to the take the fight where I want it to be. So I know Gegard knows that, you know, and I can exploit the angles that King Mo had, and all the other fights he has where it did go to the ground. So yeah, so I feel that I do have the best ground and pound in the game right now, and I know for a fact that he doesn't want to be on the ground with me.
Does it give you a bit of vote of confidence that the UFC, even after coming off a loss, they still put you in a main event for a card? You know, you've been over to Europe quite a few times now. So how does that feel in terms of from the UFC's perspective that they've called back on you to come in for what's almost like a re-entry into the German market, having not been here for 5 years, and they've called you to kind of be on the main event here?
Yeah, it does. It does. Give me some confidence, you know, because they are confident in me to be able to hold a main event and to sell tickets and to do all that, you know, to be able to headline a card. So it does give me that confidence, but at the same time, you got to go out and you got to perform, you know. And I think for me, I think what I do well is to be able to unlock different markets in the world for the UFC. I feel that I'm an ambassador for the sport where it comes to educating people about the sport, because here in Berlin and in Germany as a whole, people are they don't know what mixed martial arts is about. Sometimes, you know, there's some believe that it's still brutal and barbaric, and I'm here to educate them. I'm here to let them know that, hey, it's a martial art. It's an art. It's a form of competition where it is combat, but at the same time, it's intriguing. It's, you know, the amount of time that we put in to be a professional athlete translates out there inside the cage, and you got to have the balance of a ballerina, the explosiveness as an Olympic weightlifter, the mind of a chess player, the endurance of a triathlete. I mean, there's all these things that you have to put in order to perform that night, you know, and the many hours of training culminates to one moment, and you have to perform at that moment. So yeah, it doesn't put any pressure on me. It just puts everything in perspective, that they do have confidence in me that I can unlock different parts of the world for them, and I'm glad that they are able to put that in my hands. And, you know, I've headlined cards. I haven't headlined a card in the United States.
Wow.
I've always headlined cards outside the country. I think that's where they want me, though, you know, because for me, I love educating people. And, of course, I love being exciting inside the octagon, too. So,
cool. Well, speaking of different parts of the world, we just spoke to Gegard about 15 minutes ago, and he dropped a nugget that this fight was actually very close to being held in the Philippines. Can you also confirm that? Well, how close were we for this fight to be actually maybe in Manila?
It was very close.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very close, and it would have been amazing for it to be in the Philippines, obviously.
Yeah.
But hey, it's here, kind of in his backyard,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think a fight's a fight, and of course, I was going to have the home field advantage, there in the Philippines. But regardless of where you're at, I mean, it's the same octagon.
Yeah.
It's the same rules. It's the same time limit, and so, home field advantage. It's only a kind of a subjective kind of principle, so you can look at it that way. Or you can look at it, it's all the same. For me, it's all the same. And whatever drives you, for me, it's about being the best that you can when you step foot in there. And we have 9 weeks.
Yeah.
From this point on. We have 9 weeks. That's a lot of time, And, I'm telling you now that I'm going to put my best performance out there come May 31st. I am.
Talking about May 31st, have you learned anything from your previous 2 fights here in Europe in regards to when you're planning on coming out, how soon, food, diet, preparation, things of that nature?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, with traveling, the amount of times I've traveled, you always have to learn, and so I have this kind of protocol, so to speak, down where I'm taking Ambien, and I make sure I take Ambien during the times I have to sleep, and then wake up and then feel refreshed. And that's why I'm able to do this interview right now, because I'm able to to be energetic and not be like, oh dude, I gotta do another interview, but I'm able to do it because I got enough sleep last night, because I came in last night.
Right, I know.
And I came in last night. I got a little run this morning, got up early, and now I'm here today, and this is like my 8th interview today.
Yeah.
But it's all good, man. Like, this is what I do. And how often do you get to travel on different parts of the globe and do what you love? This is a dream, a dream come true. So, and then you interviewing me, and this is going to go in front of thousands of people. Like, it's crazy, man. This is like, but all the hard work that I've done throughout my whole life has culminated to this point. And that's I guess an awesome platform to have, because if I can do it, anybody else can do it too.
Sure.
Because I come from humble beginnings as well. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. So you can come from humble beginnings and do big things.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about the middleweight division, and I brought this up at the press conference, and I think this might be one of the subplots, not only for this fight, but for some of the other middleweight fights that are taking place in the next few months. We've got Vitor Belfort. We just don't know at the moment what's going on with him, how soon he may be back. We obviously know the Machida Weidman fight taking place in July. That's a lock. But after that, there is no clear-cut contender. And that's something that might kind of sort itself out in the next few months. And even though you mentioned the press conference that this is more of a get back on track fight for you and for Mousasi, I'm also looking at it as a way of potentially finding a new contender, because TJ Dillashaw, as I mentioned in the press conference, he came off a loss, he gets a win, and now he's fighting for the belt. So is that something that's playing in the back of your mind at all?
Oh yeah, I think with any time you step foot inside the octagon and you have a great performance, being that we're top ranked, we're at the top of the heap. It's not like we're at the bottom of the heap and we have a great performance, but we're fighting against top notch opponents. So I think with a big win, it's definitely going to put our name back in the hat. And should events happen to where I'm able to fight for a title, man, I'm gonna jump at that. Yeah. I'm gonna run at that opportunity, just like TJ Dillashaw. So, the thing is the harder you work, the luckier you get, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the thing is you know, luck is what is it? Luck is when hard work and opportunity meet, right?
Right.
So, you know, that's where I'm coming from. You know, so with a good performance over Gegard Mousasi, definitely gonna put my name back. You know, and like you said, you know, with Vitor not being able to take what he's been taking, who knows how long he'll be back or if he will ever come back. But there's other guys in the division as well, or Anderson's also out. You know, we don't know if he's ever going to come back too. Yeah. But there's Jacare, there's Luke Rockhold, there's
Bisping, Kennedy. There's so many
Kennedy,
in the top 10 right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good candidates to become contenders. So, you will see how it all comes to the point. But yeah, I'm looking to get there.
Well, I think the middleweight division hasn't been, more exciting, much like the welterweight division, and it may be where the former champions for whatever reason aren't in the picture at the moment, but it does make it exciting. It means that there's new challenges and new fights to put together. Yeah. But finally, to wrap up, looking forward to the top of the heap in your division, how do you see the Chris Weidman, Lyoto Machida fight playing out, as you have fought both of them?
Yeah. Obviously, I want to fight both of them again because I want to avenge those losses. But those two guys are top athletes. I can tell you that Lyoto is a very challenging opponent in the fact that he's very elusive, hard to just grab a hold of him. He's like a slippery watermelon in a pond or something. You can't a greased up watermelon. You can't grab that thing.
Right.
He's just hard to grab a hold of. But Chris Weidman, he's very, very good at what he does too, with taking guys down. So I think it's whoever's better at executing their game plan is going to win that fight. If I had to put a bet on somebody, that would be very hard for me to do. It's you can give the nod to Weidman, but at the same time, Lyoto, he's been there, done that. Yeah. He's been there, and so and I'm friends with Lyoto too. So it's just it's a hard position for me to be in. I can't really predict that fight. I want to see a good one, and whoever wins, I want a piece of them.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I did say last question, but I've just thought of another one that I really wanted to ask you. Some people may not know that you're also one of the head coaches at Rain Training Center. You're training the likes of Jake Ellenberger, Brendan Schaub, Chael Sonnen, but who's coaching you? Where do you look to kind of get that head coach type of figure to kind of steer you during your camps?
I don't have a coach. I'm my own coach, and I've been doing that for 5 years. And I think that was a challenge. That's my challenge, because I need someone to tell me what to do. It's surprising where I've gotten without a coach. And all my training partners have been telling me that, hey man, you need someone to tell you what to do. I said, I know. Find me somebody, But I have a lot of responsibilities that I have. And Brendan Schaub, he's been telling me, hey Munoz, you got too much on your plate. You need to slow it down, man. You need to be a gladiator, You need to be a Spartan. Right. He's like, you need to be a Spartan, And what Spartans do is they fight. Yeah. They didn't go ahead. They didn't sell medals. They didn't do any of that stuff. They fought. So you need to be a Spartan. And I go, yeah, you're right, man. But I got a lot of responsibilities that I have to do. As far as Rain Training Center, like you said, that's my gym. Yeah. I do coach there, and I'm the head coach there. Yeah. And so I have to coach and compete at the same time. I've been doing that for 5 years. And there's different people that have come into the picture, but they're different. They're different coaches in different disciplines. Right. So, that's the challenge, man. But I have my training partners to look upon. Like you said, there's Brendan Schaub, Jake Ellenberger, Chael Sonnen, Tom Watson. there's a lot of guys that come in there, and I challenge myself every day with those guys. There's even Pat Cummings there who fought Daniel Cormier in that last fight. So I mean, there's a lot of guys that I can count on, and you know, I'm not that type of guy where I kind of just like do the bare minimum. I always want to get 1% better every day. I always want to become better than I was yesterday every day. Because if you're 1% better than you were yesterday, and if you keep doing that over time, you're going to be tremendously better, right?
Almost leading by example.
Exactly. And so that's what I love. I love doing that, and you know, for me is, you know, I can lean back on my training partners to tell me, hey man, what do I need to do? What do you think I need to do? And these guys that I just named off, they're amazing at what they do, you know, and you know, it's a family at Rain Training Center. You know, whoever wants to come and train, I'll show them that it's not a bunch of fighters that are just coming together just to beat each other up, but we're actually coaching each other and making each other better while, you know, I'm kind of just orchestrating the whole thing, you know. But at the same time, I'm trying to build an environment where we're all striving together for one purpose, one goal, and to become better every day, and to become 1% better. At least 1% better every day.
Well, listen, I hope everything goes well for you during your training camp. I hope it's completely injury-free. And we look forward to seeing you on May 31st.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you.